matter. So my name's Winifred. I'm the magical maven of Aventry, brick and mortar boutique shop located in Western Mass. And we are basically a metaphysical pagan witch shop. And we're all about the intersection of healing and magic. And so this episode tonight is part 2 in a 5-part mini series that I'm teaching called Connecting to Your Inner Witch. So yesterday was our first episode. And in that episode, we dived into what it means to be a witch, what that means, the terminology, some common phrasing that you might hear. And tonight we're going to be talking about what it means to connect to your inner magic, to awaken your inner magic, and to reclaim your personal power, which I feel is super crucial to anyone who is curious or into or drawn to these practices, magical practices, being a magical practitioner, or earth-centered spiritual practitioner, or a witch, pagan, Wiccan. Anyone who's drawn to these kinds of traditions, I feel that foundationally understanding your magical flow, your inner magical spark, and understanding that, working to deepen your understanding you have that. We all have magical mojo or spiritual mojo, spiritual flow. Understanding that you have that, what that is, connecting to it, deepening your connection and honoring that, and then also reclaiming your personal power is really, really, really foundationally important to being effective and manifesting your life with everyday magic, with embracing your spiritual practice, and basically getting your witchy goodness working in alignment. So what do all those terms mean? So let's talk about your inner magic. So I like to think of my inner magic as very much I equate that to like your personal mojo. There's different names for it in different traditions. We all have a river of magical goodness or a vital life force or a vital life energy, spiritual mojo, spiritual magic, like flowing through us. And um, we're not always taught to appreciate that or connect to it or like understand the nuances of it or how to care for it. So, but it's there. Like we all have it. So we all have like an inner spark, an inner magic to us, like an inner energy that which aligns to our will, or some people might call it our will. And that allows us to, if you think about it metaphorically, like it allows you to like flow life in like your life energies into like combined with your will into that what you're seeking to make happen or manifest in your life. So the reality is that we're always manifesting. Manifestation is really popular. People are talking about it a lot these days, and it's usually taught in the in the frame of you're either doing it or you're not doing it. So if things are going your way and you're getting the things that you would like to have in your life, we call that like I'm manifesting. Look how I'm manifesting. And if we're getting results that we're not so psyched about, we tend to reference it as like, oh, I'm not manifesting, or I need to start manifesting. So we're always manifesting. I don't think that we're ever not manifesting. So I think what's really like we're always in like have spiritual essence, spiritual energy. We always have the ability to connect to sacred source, the powers that be, however you choose to call them or however you experience source, which is unique for each of us. We're always connected to that. The reality is that we're not separate. We're not in isolation. We are in oneness. But we can fall out of our like understanding of that, and we can get out of alignment with like on a spiritual, like if you think of mind, body, spirit, we can get into a place where we're not feeling really aligned. But we're always manifesting, and we always have the like that's always happening. So the more we understand that and take ownership of that and work to be in alignment, mind, body, and spirit, the more we seek to cultivate our energy, cultivate that inner spark, that inner magic, and cultivate our alignment and to understand, like as I think and see and feel and say and do, so I create around me. This isn't to say that there isn't random shit that happens in life. I That's truth. There is random stuff happens for sure. And I'm not saying that when I say that we're always all manifesting at every moment, I'm not talking about the fact that like bad stuff happens to good people. That's truth. But what we can always be in charge of is how we're showing up, how we're responding to the circumstances that are unfolding around our life in our lives at any given moment. That's where the real power lies. So like shit happens in life, stuff happens. That's just part of being here on the planet, good and bad. And so I think it's important if we can get out of that punitive cycle, like I must have been doing something wrong and that's why I didn't get the results I wanted, or I'm bad at manifesting, so a bunch of bad stuff's happening to me. So rather than that punitive perspective, I really am much more about an empowered position, and that we really want to move from being reactive to the stimulus around us and become more in a space of responsive. Why does all this matter? Because I think this is all about the process of awakening your own inner magic. The more that you can awaken and be connected and understand like your place in the cosmos and work to come into alignment, like the mind, body, and spirit, the more that you are conscious about your what you desire, where you are in reality versus what you desire to have happen, and how do you get clarity around that and clear action so you can be moving forward in your life and moving in a direction where you are feeling in a like that you are in alignment. I think is all about. I think all of that is what goes into awakening your inner magic. Um, if we aren't in alignment, I like to tell people a lot, like it doesn't matter how many candles you burn if you aren't in alignment with the very thing that you seek. So what does that mean? That means that if you are seeking to connect your inner magic and manifest something, like there's that word again, like make something happen or affect your will in the world, to have the energies shift and go your way to come into an alignment with some desired outcome. If there's any part of you that is not feeling able to have that or does it or like there's a self-worth issue or you don't feel entitled or able-bodied. I mean, entitled is not a great word, but like if you're not feeling like and able body is not a great word either. I'm trying to really explain this in a good way. So like if I want to manifest something or create something for myself, let's say I want to come into a greater alignment with my own prosperity. If there are things like old stories and old ways of being getting in my way around like taking a seat at a table of greater abundance and prosperity in my life. It doesn't matter how many. Oh, there goes my kitty, which is like my kitty loves. Anyone who watches me on live stream or on my online classes knows that my cat Maya is loves to get in front of the camera. It's just something that's just about Maya. So she's made her appearance for the evening, hopefully. So like if I'm seeking to manifest greater prosperity and abundance in my life, if I haven't done awaken my inner magic and align to that, like that outcome, and can't see and visualize and know and feel what that would mean, and if I haven't come into alignment, if in some way I don't feel worthy or not capable or responsible enough to have that kind of greater wealth in my life, it doesn't matter how many candles I burn, it's probably not going to happen. So awakening our inner magic, part of that process is about like looking under the hood of ourselves, going inward and seeking greater alignment and taking a look under the hood. So rather than keep driving your car along and ignoring those weird dings and sounds that are coming and just hoping you're going to get to your destination, you do the brave, courageous, fearless inventory thing. You pull over in a safe place and you open up that hood and you take a look under there and you see what you got going on. You get a real litmus test on where you are in reality so that you can, take an honest assessment, figure out what actions you need to redirect or change. How do you need to come into greater alignment with that which you seek? And then chart a new course to get there or take new actions or create new habits. All of this, these are all the components that no one really wants to talk about to magic. So it would be really awesome just to burn a candle and have magic like fall into my like the things I want to have come to me, just come to me. And I think there's a lot of talk out there, like with there's nothing wrong with the law of attraction and whatnot, but I think there's a lot of um talk where people are kind of being painted a picture that, oh, if you just burn the right candle, the right color candle, or burn the right color candle in the right moment in the right order, then this stuff's just going to happen. But if you've got a bunch of old stories or old habits that are not serving you, that are actually blocking you from getting there, then your magic is going to be kind of like pittering. It's going to be like, it's like that clanky car. Like you might have a lot of will to drive your car down the road. The car's representing your magic to get where you want to go. But if things are not tuned up, all your will in the world is not going to get the car, the engine that finally sees and gives up and you're stuck. So this is why awakening to our inner magic, and I think these kinds of conversations are important because I'm all about I really love to empower people, and I really want to see them create real change in their life and move from a place of victim mentality into empowerment, and like from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. And so I think that these kinds of conversations are really important. And the first step to taking ownership in your spiritual practice is to take ownership of your magic, to take ownership of your mind, body, and like the vibrational space that your mind, body, and spirit is in, and showing up and attending to what you need to attend to. Um, within reason, the things that you can attend to in your life, so you can come into a greater alignment. And then when you light that candle, and at the right moment, at the right time, and the right sequencing, then like really powerful stuff is going to happen because you've done that foundational work, that inner work, that baseline work. So that's why, first of all, acknowledging and understanding you are powerful and you do have you can create a lot of change in your own life. Yes, there's always going to be things that happen to us that are out of our control. But I always tell people, like, especially in tarot readings, that when it comes to the wheel of fate, there are two hands on the wheel of fate. There is, on one hand, the aspect of fate where shit's just going to happen. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to all of us. That is not in our control. But there's also a second hand on the wheel of fate, and that is your own hand. And that is referencing that you always are able to choose how you show up. You always are able to choose that you could be in a place of responsiveness rather than reactiveness. That you can choose how you interpret the events that are happening in your life, and you get to choose the narrative, and you get to choose what you're thinking and saying and doing in your actions. And that's how you tap into your inner magic, and that's how you create powerful change in your life. So why does all this matter if you are a witch person or a magical practitioner? Because if you don't understand this core element of how you are your greatest resource in your own magic, um, I just wouldn't want to see you like putting all that beautiful, wonderful effort into burning all those candles or saying all those petitions or doing all those rituals and spell work without understanding that the first piece is this homework. It's almost like spiritual homework. And then we move to the magic. Then we do the spell. Then we do the ritual. Then we do the cleansing. But we want to make sure that we are not afraid to pull our car over and walk around it and check it out and check at the tires and open up the hood and see what it needs. And the car is a metaphor to like our overall beingness in the planet. Hopefully that's making sense for everyone. I had trouble last night seeing comments, and it looks like that's going to be the case again tonight. So if you have a question on any of this, type it in the comment section, and what I could do is go back in and check the questions that come through, and I can write some answers. If you really like this, you found this kind of information valuable, you can work with me on a deeper level. I am the founder and facilitator of an online monthly magical community. We're a collective of earth-centered spiritual practitioners and witches and pagans. And each month we have a focused topic, and I offer spiritual mentoring and magical coaching to help empower others on their spiritual journey of growth and awakening and transformation. And I help folks. I'm really passionate about helping people bring more, like, understand this stuff so that they can practice everyday magic that's effective, that really helps them step into their soul's purpose and really create the change they're seeking to create in their life. So if you really find this stuff helpful, you can definitely check out how you can work with me in a deeper way. I do have an online magical community, and it is a subscription model. And that the doors to that are opening on September 9th. They are going to only be open for a few days. We already have a group of amazing, incredible witches and pagans inside the group, doing all kinds of incredible healing work and magical work. And it's just really incredible, very welcoming, inclusive, and supportive. Very special atmosphere. I love the Witching Well. It's pretty amazing. I'm pretty amazed and awed by all the incredible people that are there. And we'd love to have you join us. So anyway, you can work with me on a deeper level if you find that this is helping you change your life and you want to know how you can continue further with me. There is that. Or if you just have a question or just want to connect with me more, you can always shoot me a personal message here and I'll respond back to you. So the other part of our conversation tonight is about so we're talking about awakening our inner magic, and then we're talking about claiming our personal power. I've kind of been touching upon that through this whole conversation, but claiming our personal power is really, in my opinion, about like how do we move into a live life from a place of empowerment versus victimhood. How do we move into a place of aligning with an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. Now, none of this is necessarily easy. It requires that we have to choose to show up in our life. We have to choose to kind of like that famous book, The Four Agreements. We have to choose to really take a deep look at our integrity, personal responsibility. Our what are we saying? What are we cultivating in our mind? So reclaiming our power is about choosing to fully be present, to take full responsibility. I call it 100% responsibility 100% of the time. Now, that's an ideal. Obviously, we're human and we're not going to always get there. But the idea is that that's what we're striving towards. Because when we learn to be fully accountable and responsible, fully present in our life, understanding that as we think and say, so we do, like we start to call our power back to us. We claim our personal sovereignty, which is like claiming our personal power, claiming ownership of our being. And the more we can do that, the more we call our power back to us. We different things happen to us in our lives, and those things do impact our personal power. And we can always change the narrative. We can always embrace our own healing. I know because I've done this myself. I've been on a lifelong path of calling back my power, of deep personal healing and transformation. And trust me, it has not always been easy. I've had some pretty intense things I've had to overcome, but I've always been very dedicated and committed to doing that work. Um, I've always kept my eye, I call it eyes on the prize, like eyes on the horizon of what I want to achieve. And I have not been afraid to reach out for resources to help me on that journey. So maybe I needed to create a new habit. Maybe I needed to create a new way of thinking. Maybe I needed to create a new way of being in order to get to where I wanted to go. And I choose every day to do that work. It's not always easy, not by any means, but the reward on the other end is like claiming your life, getting your power back, and like seeing incredible transformation take place in your life. So claiming our power is about showing up and choosing to be responsive, not reactive, choosing to be empowered, not choosing to believe a story of personal victimhood. We're fed a lot of stories. We live in a culture that is very fear mongering based. A culture that, I mean, honestly, every culture that you could grow up in is going to have a lot of stories and a lot of belief systems that may or may not really be truth for you. And so, part about claiming your personal power is starting like a simple tip I can pass on to you is in different moments when you feel like something's being put on you that's not yours, is just to start asking yourself, is this mine? Is this truth? Is this my truth? Is this the truth I've been told to believe, or is this really true? That's a good way to start unpacking stories and cultural stories and family like lineage and all kinds of origin family stories, like just or wherever we might have picked stuff up that isn't serving us anymore. So just to start asking yourself, like, is this my truth? Is this truth? Is this truth for me? It might be truth for somebody else, but that doesn't mean it's true for me. That's a great tip to how you can start to claim your personal power back. And the more you claim your power, the more you're going to be connected to your inner magic, and the more you're going to create amazing transformations in your life. So anyway, my name is Winifred. I'm the magical maven of Awantry. Awantry is the magical hub for the seeker. We have a brick and mortar store located in Western Mass. So if you're in Massachusetts, in the western part of the state, we are in East Hampton. I would love it if you came in and said hi, introduce yourself. We are a metaphysical pagan witch store. And we are all about the intersection of healing and magic to transform your life. And I'm also the founder and facilitator of an online magical community called The Witching Well. You can learn more about that with a link that I'll put in the comments after the live stream ends. I'll throw the link to information about The Witching Well inside the comments. and you can check it out there. There's also a complimentary workbook that goes with this series. There's three more. This is a 5-part series, and this is episode number 2. And there are 3 more episodes coming. And I've created a complimentary workbook that I will also put that link in the comments after this ends, and you can go grab your workbook and check that out. So anyway, my name is Winifred. If you're catching this on the replay, I appreciate you for taking the time to let me come into your life and share all kinds of witchy goodness, stuff I'm passionate about. I hope this has been inspiring and has helped empower your journey. That's always why I do these conversations. I'm hoping as I figure out stuff, I like to pay forward, pass on wisdoms that have been shared with me that have really helped me change my life. Hoping that it will inspire and help you change your life. So, like I said, ways you can connect with me further. I will put some links in the comments after this ends. You can private message me. I respond to all my messages. Might take me a day to do that, but I do respond to all my messages. And if you want to like ask me some more questions or reach out or have a deeper conversation, just let me know. And thank you for taking the time. Let me talk with you tonight about things that I'm passionate about. And if you're on the replay, I really appreciate it. And definitely check out those links to the complimentary workbook and also to how you can learn more about the witching well. All right, everyone have a very bright and blessed night. Oh, I forgot one more thing. So the next episode in this series, episode 3, is tomorrow morning. It will be early. It's going to be at 10 a.m. on Eastern Standard tomorrow, Friday. But I am recording these, so you can keep an eye out for the recording. All right. So on that note, everyone have a very bright and blessed night, and be well wherever you are in the world. All right. Good night.